Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Brothers Win podcast. My name is Ian, and I'm joined, as always, by my brother and co-host, Matthew. Matthew, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. We talked about this last time.
Let's not do it again.
That's the first thing that came to mind, so I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, we had a 2-week, or I guess 1 week hiatus. I don't know how you would describe that. We haven't put out a podcast for 2 weeks, which is unlike us, but I was on vacation.
Yes.
And kind of forgot.
And we forgot to record it today.
That's on us.
That happened. So.
But my vacation was nice, so that's
a plus.
That's good. I went with some friends from around here to Virginia Beach. It was a great time. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to restart the podcast.
I think we have to cancel the podcast now. I think it's over.
I think we're gonna have to name this one episode 1 as well.
Yeah, I think this is episode 0 because this one doesn't actually count. So sorry. Yeah. Virginia Beach is where we went to. It was really nice. Weather was perfect. We had a great time. But the first night we got there, we went to a restaurant. And I won't name the restaurant because I don't want to put it on blast, although like 13 people listen to this podcast, which is fine.
Still, it's a platform.
Yeah, I really don't need
We want to use our platform for better.
Maybe I should say. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to be negative. I don't need to. But I'm going to be negative. We went to a restaurant and I didn't order the mac and cheese, but a couple of my buddies and their girlfriends / fiancés / wives. Was there like a term for that? Like significant others, that's it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Spouse? No, it's not spouse.
Significant others,
yeah,
is the word.
They ordered the mac and cheese at this restaurant, and let me tell you, my friend Zach, you know Zach.
Yeah.
Shout out Zach. He got it first, and he goes in there and he starts eating it, and it looks fine, it just looks like mac and cheese, maybe a little bit light on the cheese, but he starts eating, and my other friend Bradley sitting next to him, and Zach's like, "Hey, Bradley, why don't you try this mac and cheese out for me?" Bradley's like, "Is it good?" He's like, "Do you want me to try it because it's good?" He's like, "Just go ahead and try some." And Bradley tries it,
not a good sign.
And he's like, "This is bad." He like spit it. He swallowed it, I think, but it was so bad. And eventually, everyone gets their mac and cheese. I didn't get any, so I tried some of Zach's, and this was really bad. Like you can exaggerate a little bit, but this actually was probably one of the worst things I've ever tasted that was trying to be good. Like, it was so bad. It tasted like it was like the water they boiled the macaroni in was bile and vodka, like human bile and vodka, and they didn't put barely any cheese on it, and it was a nightmare. It was
That's disgusting. Would you describe it as if you didn't put the cheese packet in the Kraft mac and cheese bowls? You know how it has like that like grindy like powder in it too, and you mix the water and it's like nasty water.
Yeah, nasty water.
Yeah. Just imagine eating that. I would imagine.
It was incredibly terrible. I almost didn't swallow it. It was so bad. It was the worst thing I think I've ever tasted that was trying to be good. Like, it was aiming to be delicious, and it was just really wasn't. I've had things that are meant to be bad. Like, the comparison I've been using is the Bean Boozled, the bad tasting jelly beans, like the lawn clippings.
They're pretty accurate.
They're supposed to taste bad, and they do. But I would rather eat those than this mac and cheese.
Yeah, they're more accurate. You know what you're getting.
At least, I know what I'm signing up for.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like this bad of a food experience at a restaurant?
At a restaurant, I can't really think of one. But I know recently I tried to. I wanted to look into more protein bar options, and my mom had gotten these really expensive ones that I didn't want to buy, and or our mom, but. I didn't want to buy them, so I started looking at cheaper alternatives and ones that have more protein in them. I wanted as much protein as possible without being, disgusting.
Gains, yeah.
And, of course, I look into Quest bars. And normal Quest bars are good, apparently, but I bought the, like, extra protein bar.
Are those the little, like, square, like...
It is just a cutout.
With the little man climbing on the mountain?
No, that's a Cliff Bar.
Cliff Bar.
Cliff bars are great.
Cliff bars are really good.
Cliff bars are great.
I'm going to have to stand up for those, but Quest bars... don't know.
Quest bars and the protein ones. I got a cookies and cream one, and it looked like a block, like sharp edges, just a homogeneous mix of brown, and it wasn't white or black like cookies and cream is. It was brown, and it had little chocolate speckles in it, but it didn't look appetizing at all. And I took one bite and spit it out, and I just put the box in. Like, I buy stuff for myself, so I had it up in a cabinet for myself.
Yeah.
But I just took it out and put it in the everyone cabinet. I'm like, anyone can have this.
The free-for-all.
Yeah, I will never eat this. I will never touch this again. Everyone can have it. And I don't think anyone's touched it since. So.
Have you ever seen Snowpiercer?
No.
In
The
that
show or
the
movie?
the original movie, very good movie, recommend it. Got Chris Evans in it. The gist basically is they're in the apocalypse, and there's just a train with humans left on it, and that's it. And the poor live in the back, and they feed feed the poor these like black rubbery looking bars, and that's what I imagine. And they find out later that they're made of like bugs, like that they like live on the back, and they like grind them up and put them into like this like protein bar, and that's exactly what I imagine you ate. So sorry if I just ruined that.
No, I mean it was already a bad experience, so there was really no there's no remorse.
Might have been better if it was bugs, actually. You know.
I would want to try that if it was like prepared well.
It's pretty gross.
It would be pretty good.
It's pretty gross
that,
looking.
yeah. Depends on the bugs. Like I'd eat a cricket bar. If crickets,
I think there were roaches, if I remember
I probably wouldn't eat that. They're a little juicier.
Oh gosh, eating roaches. That's some Fear Factor nonsense.
Yeah,
I don't need that.
I mean, like, I know other countries eat bugs for. Me and my friend's dad were talking about this when we were talking about cicadas and how people are eating them. And Maryland is actually like everyone in Maryland's trying to get people to eat it, and people are like I think the government's trying to get people to eat them. Just as like a ploy, like people they try to make the image better than they actually are.
The tourism thing.
Yeah,
they're like, come down to Maryland.
Oh yeah, we got cicada pizza. They did. They put cicadas on pizza and fried them. They have candy cicadas. It's like it doesn't make any sense for cicadas. I would never eat a cicada. You'd have to pay me money to eat one.
So.
But I would, however, eat a lot of bugs that other countries eat. I'd eat crickets. Yeah. I'd probably eat spiders. I'd eat.
What about a beetle?
I'd eat a beetle but I don't think people eat beetles.
I think cricket would be the most delicious.
Cricket's probably good, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
protein dense.
Yeah, I mean it's a little like those little dusted ones that they have that I've seen before.
I don't know what that is.
They're like it's like powder coated in spices.
Okay.
So they're like rolled around, and it's kind of like yeah, it's hard to say. Like no, it's too hard to describe.
Well, on cicada, back on cicada talk, I lead, for those of you that don't know, I lead youth ministry. And sometimes we play these games, like when we have our hangouts. And one time we did this prank, recently we just did this prank where we told 3 kids that they were going to, like, be blindfolded and like blind taste test something, and we showed them before, and it was a piece of bread, a piece of sausage, and a dead cicada. And we're like, one of you's gonna eat the dead cicada, you know, jokingly. Yeah. But behind the scenes, we had made fake candy cicadas because one of our kids that wasn't involved with this had told us before that cicadas taste like dried seaweed with like, and then they were like squishy in the middle, like juicy.
Yeah, I mean,
so I don't know what they taste like. We've never tried one.
I probably wouldn't like that then.
So what we did was we took actual dry seaweed and we wrapped it around gushers, and we like fed that to them. Like they were blindfolded, so they couldn't know. So they all thought they got the cicada, and they all freaked out. And it was a good time. One kid actually ate it, so that was pretty interesting. But the other 2 freaked out. They felt the seaweed, and they thought it was the wings. So I would have freaked out.
Fair, yeah.
I do not blame them. I would
psychological torture, you know.
I would have smacked the person's hand out of the way. It was that's what you do. You know, to get kids to the Lord.
I would probably be the kid that ate it because like, if you had the chance, the 1 in 3 chance of eating it, and in your mind that was an actual thing, then like, you gotta commit if it was given to you. Like,
I think you're right.
You're the one that got it.
Yeah, you gotta roll with those punches. So, but it was very interesting, and I don't think I would want to eat a cicada. So.
I don't think unless you paid me, I wouldn't.
How much are we talking? You know, like $10.
$20.
$20. All right. A dead one or like one that you catch and kill.
One that's cooked properly. A dead one cooked. You know.
Depends. You gotta find. I think you gotta kill it yourself is the thing.
Yeah.
Like chop its head off or something.
Dehydrated. We'll go back to Tycoon Tactics. We'll make a cicada jerky.
We gotta talk about it every single episode.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, every time you make jerky, I am not around, and you just feed
it.
I forgot shovel it into our dad's mouth, and
listen, I eat most of it. That last batch was bad. I had to give it to him.
I am in town house sitting until Tuesday, so
that's true.
There better be.
I have an eye round upstairs. I need to do it, so I'll probably
do it soon.
I think I'm cutting it tonight and then doing it tomorrow. Okay. Sometime.
All right. That sounds good.
Maybe the next, or it had to be really late Friday.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Anyway, what were we talking about? Cicada eating. Vacation. Yeah, vacation was a good time though. I mean, ultimately.
Do you?
Speaking of eating,
I imagine you didn't see any cicadas down there.
No.
Okay.
None.
Because
Nunsky.
I've stopped seeing them up here too. I mean, I know Virginia Beach too. That's pretty far out. They're not getting it at all. But
you know, there's like cycles of like dates that like in like different states.
Yeah, there's a map. Have you seen the map?
No, I haven't.
There's two broods that are out right now. There's one from Baltimore to Harrisburg, and like a circle basically. Baltimore to Harrisburg are the top and bottom. And then there's another one in Ohio, I think around Chicago.
Yeah, I think Tennessee had one in 2016. I feel like
New York had one last year, I think, but it wasn't that bad.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah,
so.
they're everywhere. I didn't know, and it's only like a semicircle around the northeastern part of the United States.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like why
Eastern deciduous kind of landscape, you know.
Unfortunate that we had these, but like,
what can you do?
If you only have to deal with them once every 17 years, like I'll forget about it in the next year.
In
I'll forget about it in a week, honestly, when they're all gone.
I'll be 41 when that's gross. When the next cicada when the cicadas
I'll be 37.
come back. Ugh, I don't like thinking
That's
about
a lot.
That. That's too many
37.
numbers. That's a lot of numbers. Speaking of food and vacation, on the way back from driving home from vacation, in the car we had some good conversation. And one conversation that I would like to continue, or at least I guess introduce to you.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
Fast food. We were talking about like favorite items, favorite least favorite items, favorite places to go, least favorite restaurants. And I don't think we've ever talked about this. I feel like we have like a general idea of where we like to go. But I feel like
it's also a set of circumstances. We only have three fast food restaurants around here. And half of them we don't go to.
Yeah,
it's really
half
really
of three. Figure it out. You can guess.
It's tragic. Yeah. We don't even go.
Are you not counting Taco Bell, KFC as well?
I am counting. I didn't count right away, so I have no clue.
I think it's
Taco
4.
Bell, KFC, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King.
And you count Five Guys.
Five Guys is gone. They're not there.
Actually, what?
I'm pretty sure they're gone.
Are you sure?
Sean said they were gone.
Oh, well.
Sean Warner. Shout out Sean Warner. Sean Warner Auto Detailing.
All right, that's not bad. Did you get the money for the first time? Because you didn't get. I got
$100.
All right, well I get 50 of that.
Oh really?
I haven't got the cut yet. Yeah, or I get all 100 for this one. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll wait.
Yeah,
we'll wait until he pays again.
Shout out to Sean. But it's gone.
I think it's gone.
I'll
have to double check.
I'm not up here enough craving Five Guys that
I remember it's leaving. I think the people who bought Coppermine Four Seasons around here. Sure. This is a bit of local talk, so not a lot of people won't get it, but
won't stay on it for too long.
They own like 80% of the businesses in Hampstead, and like the only place they don't own is like 2 shopping centers.
Is that one of them?
They want to put in stuff. That's more of what the point, but they don't. I think they own that one that Five Guys is in. I'm pretty sure. But it's not a matter of whether or not they own it. It's just like a fun fact. You know, like,
local talk, yeah.
I didn't know it until recently. It's such a fun fact because it's like, it doesn't seem like everything's owned by one person. You'd think it's like small businesses, but it kind of makes sense who's leasing out all the properties to the shopping centers. And it's like
and that's been
one dude.
That's been Northern Carroll County retail talk. Come back next week.
Northeastern Carroll County.
We're gonna do it for Northeastern. Back to fast food though, so like we're not just including the 4 that are near us.
Everything.
But so what's your favorite fast food restaurant then, or like top 3 if you're gonna have a top 3?
The one that I immediately thought of was one that I've only been to once, and I'll already put it in my top 3.
Oh, I know.
What is it?
Cookout?
No.
Bojangles?
No.
No.
They're around here.
Oh. I don't know. You tell me.
It's Shake Shack.
Oh, I like Shake Shack.
Shake Shack is really good. Their chicken sandwich was fire.
Never had it.
The best. One of the best ones. And it's the healthiest one for you, other than Wendy's. But Wendy's is really small.
Aren't they hella expensive, though?
They are very expensive.
Like $13 for a meal.
It was like $6 for just a chicken sandwich.
Oh, that's not good.
It's not crazy. Or it's not like...
You're like bridging...
It's a big sandwich. You're getting a big sandwich, and it's really healthy.
You're bridging the gap between like a McDonald's and like a sit-down, kind of like Texas Roadhouse beat-ups kind of place.
Shake Shack is... It's interesting. I think they understand that they can be bougie because their food is like half decent. But yeah, their chicken was just, it's like, imagine it's a different type of breading, but it's kind of like the Chick-fil-A breading, just a little lighter.
Yeah.
And the chicken is like twice as thick and just miles juicier. And it just like shreds away. And it's like, wow. I just love the chicken sandwich. I want to go back.
Where'd you go to? Which one is it? There one on like...
There's one across the street from my office in the Towson Circle.
Okay. Because there's one in Baltimore that we go to sometimes, like by like the Chick-fil-A, like in the inner harbor kind of area. So
yeah, you know where the Circle is in Towson?
Yeah.
You know where they're doing construction on the one side?
Yeah, they're always doing it there.
It's done.
Oh, it's done?
It's been done since I started working in Towson. I was surprised, but it's a Shake Shack now. On the corner.
When I went to Towson, when I knew a lot of people down there, I guess I still know them, but when I was closer, I've wiped them from my memory.
When I used to know them, they're gone now.
Yeah, no.
Everyone left.
When I would go down there often, there was always construction on that one spot, and it was annoying. But now, because you have to go that way to get to the movies, right?
Yeah. You have to go Joppa Road.
Yeah, Joppa.
Joppa.
All right, well that's your number 1.
No, number 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm starting with 3.
What's your 2 and 1 then?
I had to think. Honestly, I'm not entirely
So you placed
sure.
your 3 not knowing what the 2 and 1 were.
Well, because I know that's 3. I wanna mention it and give it a good
Like an
rating
honorable mention almost.
almost, but it does win the 3 spot
That's
because
fair.
I heard the burgers are extremely good as well.
I got a burger and it was pretty good, and the
So,
fries are nice.
Yeah, if they are pretty good, then,
It's like, I mean, Five Guys is kind of similar in the sense, but like I think healthier. You know, it's probably.
but it's
healthier.
also technically fast food because you can order, online, order quick, and they get it. I mean,
Would you say
there's-
Five Guys isn't fast food?
I would put it is fast food, but it is.
I would say it's in the same.
You have to order it. I want to be able to not talk to anybody and order food, so
Certain Five Guys probably do that.
they probably do. The one we have is rooted in 1960s technology.
If we still have it, that's.
Yeah, if it's still there.
Dun, ominous. All right, what's your other 2?
Trying to think. Do you have one? Do you have a third?
No, I don't really have an order. I like Cookout.
Cookout. Honestly, Cookout. The only problem I have is how heavy it sits.
Yeah.
Everything else about it, the fact that you can buy the menu for whatever pocket change you have in your wallet.
It's cheap.
The fact that you can buy, $1 milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally just a scoop of ice, like a bunch of scoops of ice cream in
Yeah.
a cup. Like it's really
by
cool.
me.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
worthwhile to go to.
if you're
but,
down
like,
in the area, you know.
Yeah. But for me, like, I would rather go to a Bojangles than a Cookout.
I wouldn't go to Cookout a lot if I wasn't like. It's just whenever I go that way.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
oh yeah.
I'm like I always have
one
to get it.
time on a trip. Well, like every time you go on a trip down there.
I'll go like south probably like 3-4 times a year, and every single time I'll go to Cookout. You know, so that's my logic. I like to think with that. So
That's fair.
yeah. So Cookout's there. I mean,
Cookout.
Chick-fil-A is probably number 1 for me.
I'm trying to think of what spot Chick-fil-A gets
What?
because it could get number 1
Mhm.
because I've lived off of it,
Mhm.
as have most other people.
Yeah.
And I was just so used to when I worked with you at Tetra Tech.
Mhm.
I was so used to every day at lunch I'd just drive to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, and it was super convenient.
And yeah, every day I'd mobile order, pull up, pull out, sit at the desk, eat it.
Yeah.
It's like
Sweet deal.
yeah, and I ate it every single day.
Oh.
Because there was nothing else. Like I didn't want to go anywhere else. And
There were other places.
There were other. I mean, yeah. I looked in the. I almost went to Wendy's one time. in
Qdoba?
Alberta. Yeah, but
Same deal.
Qdoba's kind of hard, and Chipotle's kind of hard too. I do put it as fast food, but again, it just like takes longer, and you have to go in.
Mhm.
I don't like that.
It's fair.
So
I know my.
I do want to put Chipotle and
Do you want me to finish mine?
yeah.
All right.
go ahead,
So, it's 3. So Cookout's probably just an honorable mention.
yeah, we'll talk about honorable mentions as well. I think.
So I think I have to include a 4. So it's like, because my 2 through 4 are all very similar restaurants. They're
Yeah.
all Chipotle style. So like,
yeah.
it's number 4 is a place called Cava, which is Greek Chipotle. Chipotle is number 3, which is Chipotle. And number 2 is Quickway or Quickfire.
Okay, I was gonna say if you say Qdoba, I'm like
No,
that's my least
say
favorite
Qdoba?
one. Qdoba. I don't
say
know. I said
Qdoba.
it is Qdoba, but
Qdoba.
I said Qdoba.
Adobe Premiere. Yeah, no, Quickway / Quickfire, which is like
I've never heard of that.
it's like hibachi.
Other two.
It's hibachi, like Japanese style food, but
I need
Chipotle
to move
style.
I need to move to a city.
It's nice. It's nice. I'm coming back here, and I'm like the closest one of these is 45 minutes away, and
I will say you get the outlaw barbecues though,
Outlaw Barbecue.
which are 100% worth it.
I have to remember. There's a place in Hanover called I think Three Hogs. Shout out Three Hogs Barbecue. If that's correct. I haven't been there in like 2.5 years, but I'm gonna go there this weekend because
Nice.
that's staying up there. So,
Nice.
but
I
think,
yeah. you
So
get
and then my
those
number
places.
one's Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A, and then those 3 variants of the Chipotle method, which I love the Chipotle kind of style, where it's like very customizable. You get kind of the same deal, the same shtick, but you're just going through and you're gonna order.
Yeah.
So like,
my only problem is that it never feels customizable for me because I only like this a select bit on the menu. Like I only like the corn salsa. I only like sour cream. I only like the hot sauce that they have, the hot sauce.
yeah,
And then I get to the end, I'm like cheese, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then it's like I never put anything else, so I can change the meat, I can change the rice if I wanted to, I can change the beans, but
Yeah.
like I just stick with the same exact bowl every time. There's never a change.
the
And-
Greek.
Sorry, when I did try to change, I tried to order quesadilla.
Oh,
it was,
yeah.
it was the worst idea I've ever
Yeah,
had.
you're just like, what? I do
Because
this.
the customization goes away. You buy a quesadilla, which is just meat and cheese, pretty much. You
Yeah.
can put the other stuff on it,
But
but
really
you should
can't.
just get meat and cheese, and then you get the sides, the 3 sides.
Mhm.
I got one that was $9, more expensive than a bowl.
Mm.
All I got was sour cream because I couldn't think of anything else to put in. I didn't want the hot sauce because it's too hot for that.
Yeah.
I didn't want the corn salsa because you can't put it on
Can't
it.
really dip it in. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what do I do?
That's a nightmare, bud.
And then I should have realized it was a waste when I realized I was only getting sour cream and a tortilla.
Yeah.
I was like,
The Cava place is great. It tastes delicious, but I always get anxiety there because I don't know probably 3/4 of the ingredients, and I'm there like, and I'm like, there's like 14 different types of hummus, and like,
jeez.
like
That's the Greek place you said, right?
yeah, Cava, and I always want to try something new there, and I'm like, ooh, like these like peppers taste like seem good, and I'm just like, oh, they're the hottest things I've ever had before, so they're good.
What's the base? Sorry, what's the base to it?
It's like white rice, kind of like a grain kind of thing, and you can get. Like,
I thought it would be like a yogurt.
No, no.
Well, I mean, because like
they have like lamb stuff.
I know like Greek and Indian food are very yogurt based, but
no, not really. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
they definitely probably have yogurt based things.
Yeah, I'm
put
sure.
On top, but it's like,
there's like some like you know
I couldn't
like
imagine it being rice.
The gyro sauce, is it tzatziki? I think tzatziki.
Oh yeah, Tajikistan.
Yeah, the Tajikistan, favorite country. It's good. That place is really solid. So yeah, it's probably Chick-fil-A and then those 3 little Chipotle-esque places.
I'd probably go Chick-fil-A number 1, Chipotle 2,
and then
Shake Shack 3. I do want to talk about the honorable mentions. I want to talk about all the fast food if possible because I love talking about this.
Yeah.
But like just from a menu standpoint, Chick-fil-A, and nobody really compares.
Breakfast, dessert,
salad, wraps,
dinner.
Dessert, breakfast, drinks, lemonades.
And I get the same thing every time.
And I get a chicken sandwich every time.
With a half and half sweet tea lemonade and call it a day. I have switched my sauces. I went from Chick-fil-A to Polynesian, and it's
people have been doing that. I don't know, like I've seen so many people switching to Polynesian sauce.
It's delicious. I love it. I don't know why I didn't. I'm sad I didn't do it sooner. But
I remember having it. I don't like that.
Chick-fil-A used to be like crack to me, or Chick-fil-A sauce used to be like crack. You know,
Chick-fil-A's
like
great.
I would
Chick-fil-A
hoard
sauce.
it. You know, yeah. Well, Chick-fil-A is great in general. Sorry, I keep interrupting yours though.
No, it's fine. I keep interrupting too, so
whatever.
But yeah, the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is just like good. There's really there's nothing else you can say about it. It's just good enough to buy every time.
It's really good.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Wendy's and get a chicken sandwich because it's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only places I would go is Shake Shack, but that's more expensive. Or I'd go to Popeyes, but there's a Popeyes in Westminster that looks like it hasn't been touched in 15 years.
Zach always goes there. Zach and Tyler.
I've been there like 4 times since because I had the chicken sandwich for the first time like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it
is beyond better than Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
But it is, I think, more expensive if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
I think it's like $5 or $6 as well as the Chick-fil-A or the Shake Shack chicken sandwich.
It is more expensive.
And there's not many Popeyes around me other than that one that's run down. But I will say I've never seen quicker service than at that Chick-fil-A or that Popeyes. I pull up, I say I want a chicken sandwich, no pickles, that's it. And I pull up to the window and they're already handing me the bag before I give them my card. I'm like, okay.
Dunkin's good at that too. Dunkin gives me good
service. They gotta
service.
be good at that.
Yeah. So you think the Popeyes is better than Chick-fil-A?
The chicken sandwich, but the menu itself, I don't think is anywhere near Chick-fil-A's menu.
I just think it's too greasy. Like, I don't know, it might just be me, but it makes me feel, it sits so heavy in my stomach. A Chick-fil-A meal, I feel so refreshed after.
That's fair. I take my time eating Popeye's chicken sandwich. So I take it took me 45 minutes to eat a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Because I needed to take my time.
It just sits way too heavy.
It's just so good bites, but yeah, it does sit really heavy.
I like it, and I will get it every now and again, but it just sits way too heavy.
Yeah, that's fair.
What about your least favorite? Unless you want to stay on your favorite.
No, we can go to least favorite.
What's your least favorite then?
This is interesting because I don't really dislike a lot of fast food.
And if you do, you don't go there. You just be like, I don't like this, and I don't go back.
But the first thing that comes to mind is McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, but we get that all the time. I like the chicken nuggets now, but I don't like the burgers really at all. Yeah. The burger taste is just not good. The buns are great, but that's pretty much it. The chicken sandwich, it hits sometimes, but it most of the time it misses. It's so inconsistent that you can't get it.
Yeah.
The chicken nuggets are even inconsistent, so you never know, at least the one near here.
Yeah.
So I just sometimes forgo eating it because there's no option on the menu that I really like.
It kind of disgusts me like McDonald's does, and then I get a craving for it once every 2 months, and I'm like, ooh, I could use a double cheeseburger meal, and I go there and I eat it, and I'm like, I feel disgusting.
This is the worst decision I've ever made.
And I hate it, but I get it every 2 months, and I'm like, time to go to McDonald's.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I've had the worst experiences at McDonald's by far. The worst experiences. Sorry, about 2 years ago, I stopped eating McDonald's for a year because I went there and I got a 20-piece chicken nugget, and I picked it up. It was all in one clump, and I was mindlessly eating the first one, and it was soggy, hard, and like it was almost like it was all tendon.
Ugh.
And I took a bite, and it was like, oh, I'm like, what did I just put in my mouth? I spit it out the window and threw the chicken nugget out. I'm like, that must have been the worst chicken nugget ever.
Ooh.
And I look in, I pick it up, it was just a clump, melted together of chicken nugget, and all of them looked the same.
That's
and I was
disgusting.
like, no, and I just closed it and threw it away and never ate McDonald's for like a year.
That's fair.
It was so disgusting.
Ugh, I hate that. That's disgusting.
nah,
My
nah.
worst experience doesn't have to do with food at all at McDonald's. Well, I guess you have to predate the store. I was on a work trip, and we needed a bag of ice to keep samples fresh. I was an environmental scientist, so we had like things we needed to keep preserved on ice.
Yeah.
So we needed to go to we needed to get ice, and my coworker who was driving the truck was like, "Oh, we can go to McDonald's." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Oh, they have ice. You just go through the drive-thru and they give you a bag of ice." I'm like, "No way." And they're like, "Yeah, for sure."
I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I. And we go through and just give us a bag of ice, and this was like, I guess 2 years ago in like summer of 2019, and I'm like, that's a great idea. I was like, I'll have to use that in the future. So it was last summer, and I was going to see some friends, and I'm driving like through Westminster, and there's like I had going from like, I guess like 795 to like through 140. Like you pass the Kohl's and you
Yeah,
pass the
yeah,
McDonald's
yeah.
and you pass the mall. You
Yeah,
know, that
yeah,
way.
yeah, you're going
I don't know which direction that
Finksburg.
is. Yeah,
Or it's.
from Finksburg to 97.
Are you in between 91?
I'm
There's
on-
91.
I don't know. I'm on
140 to 91, then 91 to.
Basically, all you need to know is I was on
30.
140 going down,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Ooh, I didn't want to get out of my car, but I needed to get ice." My buddies were like, "Hey, we need some ice." And I was like, "I'll get some. I don't care. You know, I'm passing McDonald's. I'll swing by." So I go in, and this was like summer of COVID last year. So like, you know, I go through, wear my mask, and they're like, I was like, "Can I have a sweet tea, 2 McDoubles, because I wanted food."
Yeah,
And I was
you
going to a
gotta get
party,
food.
you know, and a bag of ice. And they're like, "All right, sounds good." And you know, like the normal thing, I go up there. They give me my sweet tea, my McDoubles, and then they're like, oh, no, they gave me my McDoubles, and I was like, "Oh, I got a sweet tea too and a bag of ice." And they're like, "Oh, pull up to that spot, they will bring it out to you."
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. So I sit there for 10 minutes, and
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like, what is happening? I was like, I could have gotten like something quicker. So I like it's COVID. I'm like, I don't think I can go in there, but you know, the door's
Yeah.
unlocked. Thankfully, I go in. And I'm like, "Hi, I just came through the drive-thru like 10 minutes ago. You guys told me to sit in that spot over there. I got my McDoubles. Here's my receipt. I needed a sweet tea and a bag of ice."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, sorry. Bring me my sweet tea." And no offense to this, but they were like a lot of them were Mexican, and you know, like not stereotyping, but they didn't speak English that well. You know, like it was kind of a
Yeah.
language barrier. They knew I needed the sweet tea, and then I'm like, "I got a bag of ice," and they're like, "What?" And I was like a bag of ice, and they're like, "Okay," and I'm like, "All right." And then they come out, and they're like, "We don't have any bags for ice," and I'm like, "All right, well, can I get a refund?" They're like, "Hang on." And I'm like, "What's happening?" And they come out, and they have this like giant bag, like my chest length apart, like no top to it. It's like a big like tough plastic like open air
Yeah,
bag.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, "What is this?" And they're like, "It's a bag of ice." And I'm like, "What is this bag?" And they're like, "It's an ice cream bag." They're like, and I was like, "Ice cream?" And they're like, "Yeah, like it like has one of the ice cream ingredients in it." And I'm like,
Oh.
"Oh." And was that fine? I was like, "I already have it." So like I guess
Yes.
like it had like a little like nozzle on it. I guess they rinsed it out and put ice in it. I was like, "What is?" I was like, "I'm just gonna." And I had been there for like a total of 25 minutes at that point. So I'm like, I don't care. Like
Yeah, that sounds like a
I'm like-
nightmare.
And now my friends make fun of me for it. They're like, "Oh, you want some ice from McDonald's?" I'm like, "It was great in theory, you know.
it
would
was
have
a
been
great
awesome."
idea.
So
They were willing to give it. They just
if
had
it-
no clue.
it's worked before. It didn't work this time. What can you do?
That's a nightmare.
It was terrible.
I've had experiences like that. One recently at Wendy's, actually, the
Mm.
one right across the street from the one in Hampstead.
Yeah,
And
really local on today's episode.
Oh yeah. Because I mean that's where the fast food.
That's where we live. Dang it! All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
leave us alone.
Fast food, we gotta accommodate.
Yeah.
So I go to the Wendy's and I'm waiting on a friend to text me so we can go on a hike. And
Was this early then?
huh?
Was this early then?
No,
or-
it was late night, almost sunset.
Yeah.
And so I text my friend. He said he's gonna be a bit, and I'm out. I'm already out because I was already out there.
Sure.
And I start heading back in to town because I'm like I need gas, so I need to go get gas.
Yeah.
And I was like maybe I get food because I haven't eaten anything today. So I go out and I drive to Wendy's of all places. I'm like, it's gonna be a short line. It's not gonna be as long as McDonald's because it's about prime time. It's gonna be like 7-car McDonald time.
Mm.
So I'm like, let's go to Wendy's. It'll be quick. I pull up, one car in front of me. I order just a chicken sandwich. That's it, just a chicken sandwich. And they're like, I pull up. They hand the dude in front of me his bag like immediately, and I pull up, and I give him my card, and he gives it back. He's like, "Can you pull up to that spot?" That
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, "Of course." I'm like, It's a chicken sandwich. Can you not make it?
Yeah.
I see a black Acura behind me pull up like 2 minutes after I've been waiting in the spot, and he gets his food like almost immediately.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Angry.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fine. And now at this point, I'm on a time crunch. I did not expect it to be that long.
Yeah.
So now my friend is ready to go out, and I'm at Wendy's, stuck there waiting for my food. And I already paid for it, so what am I going to do? So I'm sitting there waiting. 5 minutes go by, and the black Acura comes back. It's the same exact car, same exact people, and they pull up. Their order must have been wrong. So they gave the food back. And then they waited, got their food back. It's now been like 10 minutes, like you were saying. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay.
You got a decision to make.
Yeah, I have a decision. What do I do? So I just decided to wait. 5 more minutes go by, and it finally comes out, and it is piping hot. And I will say, it is the best Wendy's chicken sandwich I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't excuse the fact that it took 15 minutes to come out to me.
Fast food.
It was terrible. I was way late. Sunset was literally 30 minutes away. We had 30 minutes to be out there. And, we stayed out a little longer because it doesn't really matter. But, yeah. It's just a nightmare. Fast food can be so inconsistent.
So, bringing it all back, McDonald's is on your probably top 3 worst?
Probably
bottom 3?
Bottom 3. Like, probably 3. The one that's closest to the middle.
I only have 2 on mine.
What are they?
Burger King is probably 2. I don't like Burger King. I think it's garbage food.
That's fair, but I did have it recently, and I will say it was great.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Sometimes it can be good. We used to go there a lot after we would be in high school. Me and my boys, we'd go there, then we would go play soccer in a park, and then we would go to Burger King.
Get chicken fries.
Yeah, chicken fries.
I've been there for a few of those.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
So those were fun, but now I just I do if anyone mentions Burger King, I'm like, that's okay.
So I will say I hated the Whopper. That was if you had to rank fast food burgers, that would be my number 1 worst burger.
Yeah,
of all
they
time.
try to charbroil it or whatever it is.
It tastes
like
burnt cardboard, and the bun is so big for what it is. It's
Yeah.
not enough sauce too. It's like even if you put enough sauce, it's never enough.
Yeah,
It's not a good burger.
it looks better than the McDonald's one.
Yeah.
But
Their other burgers though are amazing.
Really?
There's like this they make all their burgers smaller. So kind of like Wendy's does, the Son of Baconator type thing. And I got this like small double bacon cheeseburger for like $1.50. And it was, about that big.
Yeah,
way enough for a meal for me now.
Sure.
But like, oh my God, it was so good. I've never had anything as good as that from Burger King. The fries were actually decent. They usually suck, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they're the worst fries.
Yeah.
But they were actually decent. They actually had like a potato flavor to them.
Yeah.
And then I got a frosted Coke. They do this. It's
Like an
basically
icy?
like an icy, like a Coke icy.
That's good.
But it was only $1, and I was like, that's a deal. I paid $5 for my entire meal and had a blast.
Yeah,
It was so
a
good.
blast.
A blast.
Okay.
I had a blast.
I change it. So Burger King's 3rd.
Yeah,
I just remembered another one while you were talking. Arby's is 2nd.
Arby's is number 1. Never mind. I forgot Arby's existed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Arby's. The only thing good there is the fries. The sandwiches are gross. No.
It's disgusting.
Zach, if you heard your name and you're listening to this podcast now, he's like about to like drive over to my house and fight me. So.
Yeah.
And my number 1 is KFC.
That's controversial.
I hate KFC. It's
Do you hate the chicken?
Yes.
Okay. So I hate
the chicken.
I hate the chicken.
The
Everything
biscuits aren't as good as Popeyes.
But any boneless chicken, the biscuits are nostalgic in my opinion. I've had them enough times to this point where the dryness and the shittiness and the crumbliness is like, it literally just tastes like butter. You're eating butter.
That's like Popeyes, but Popeyes is a little bit better for me.
Popeyes
for some
is
reason.
better.
Yeah.
Bojangles are better too.
They're
But
the
like,
best. Yeah.
It's like McDonald's are the worst. You can't argue that.
McDonald's biscuits?
Yeah.
I don't know they had those.
They make biscuit sandwiches for
Oh
breakfast.
no,
I used to get them all the time, but they are literally like eating
like
a
cardboard
dry.
cakes.
It's so dry.
Yeah,
it's so dry.
bad.
It's the driest thing.
I do know what you're talking
But-
about now.
I will say, like, their mashed potatoes, their sides, their chicken sandwiches, like the slider sandwiches that they
Yeah,
have,
they're good.
great. But I will agree in the fact that it's probably number 4 or 5 for me because if I go to Taco Bell, KFC, I'm not getting KFC.
No,
I'm not ordering a single thing off the KFC menu.
Yeah, like I'll leave that alone. That ain't for me. It's always Taco
Yeah.
Bell. So
Taco Bell is probably number 4 for, like, all time.
Taco Bell's
greats.
really good. Speaking of that, my favorite thing probably
Taco Bell.
my favorite like outside of like the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, I love that. That's a classic. My favorite item off of a fast food is probably the cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell. I love the cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell.
I love the Crunchwrap Supreme. I think it's a
Also
great idea.
good. Yeah.
But just getting tacos from Taco Bell is enough.
Yeah. Well, what's your favorite food item then?
From Taco Bell?
No, from fast food. We'll finish on this for a fast food talk.
That's tough.
Because you can think about yours, but if you've never had the cheesy gordita crunch, it's basically like a hard shell taco. Keep thinking on yours.
Yeah.
A hard shell taco with the works in it. It's normal taco with the special, I think, chipotle cream sauce is very good, and then it's got melted cheese on a soft shell tortilla, and you wrap it around it, and it melts to the hard shell, and it's so good. It's warm and it's delicious, and I love it. It's my favorite thing. So you got one?
And I'm trying to think. It's a chicken product.
That's fair. I don't like.
It's probably
beef products from fast food restaurants. Usually are a no-go for your boy.
Yeah, no, they're not usually good. Like, I mean, if we're counting Five Guys, I'd just say a Five Guys double burger. Or
count
something
that.
like
Count that. Yeah. No,
well, I mean, I want it to be like
unique.
I don't know, fair. Yeah, kind of unique. Like, not just like a
burger
from the best fast food restaurant there is. Like,
that's fair.
And that's almost inarguable. Everyone thinks that Five Guys is
great.
Extremely good.
It's delicious.
And if you don't like it, you just don't like that kind of burger.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
but if you do like that kind of burger,
Five
Guys is the best.
It's the best fast food there is.
And
so
fries are good too.
I don't want to put that up there. So I'm thinking I'd go Shake Shack chicken sandwich or Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Good call. Real quick on Five Guys, I thought I had appendicitis one time from eating too many Five Guys fries. They're that greasy. I was sitting down in this room actually when it was my room, and I was just nomming on these, and then like maybe 3 hours later, I was just sitting at my desk, like playing games or something like that, and like where my appendix is, I can't remember which. Is it on the right side?
I think it's on the opposite side of your stomach.
I don't even
Because it's like
know.
it's a weird pain.
And like that's where it was. I looked it up. I remember whatever side it's on, it was there. And like I texted our nurse sister, and I was like, "Do I have appendicitis?" And she's like, "Well, what'd you do? Did you like work out today?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Did you eat greasy food?" I'm like, "No." Oh. I was like, "There's a whole bag of large Five Guys fries count." She's like, "Jeez." I was like,
large fries.
I was like, I'm weak, and it hurt, so I couldn't bend over.
Yeah.
I had some sort of issue that was wrong with it, but they're so delicious.
They're delicious.
It's hard to stop.
They know what they're doing. They're making the best burger out there.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Like if we're doing a tier list, if we're making a tier list, Five Guys is S, and I don't know if anything comes close.
Yeah, we also had this.
Chick-fil-A would be A in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. With like Popeyes probably, maybe.
Maybe.
Let's not do all this now. Another future episode. But you said Popeye's chicken sandwich or a Shake Shack. Shake Shack. Sorry, I always get Shake Shack and Steak and Shake. Always.
I've never been to a Steak and Shake.
I've heard they're bad, actually.
I've heard they're not like they are like they're the ones that are like debated, right? Like they're like close together. I've never had one, but I've heard Steak and Shake is like terrible.
I think Shake Shack is the way better one.
Yeah, Shake Shack is great.
But Shake Shack what? Chicken sandwich? Is that what you said?
Yeah, okay. Chicken sandwich.
That's fair.
I'd have to have a burger. I might like their burgers more.
Nice. Well, that was good fast food talk.
Yeah.
I love talking. It's fun to have those conversations.
Yeah. You want to do a bit of sports, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think we're gonna end the episode with sports here. Maybe talk like another 12 minutes on it. So if you're not into sports, which I know my girlfriend hates the sports talk because she's not a sports fan, now you can probably leave the episode. Bye to those people. Adios. On the sports though.
You can grab a tea if you want. By the way, I'm still looking for.
No, I was just looking at him earlier. Sorry. Yeah, NBA playoffs.
Yes.
Did you watch Game 7 of the Bucks and the Nets?
No.
I
haven't watched any of the games, but I know I follow it.
I am a Bucks fan officially. Like I am following the Bucks. I was watching Game 1 of the Hawks. So if you need to know when we're recording this, Game 1 of the Bucks and the Hawks was last night. Game 3, I believe, of the Suns Clippers is tonight.
So, and the Suns are 2-0, right?
Suns are 2-0. Hawks are 1-0.
I saw a meme.
That's where we are right now.
Paul George can't blow a 3-0 lead if there was never, or a 3-1 lead if there was never a lead at all.
So you haven't watched any of these games because the last Clippers Suns game was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah. Let me talk about the Brooklyn.
I will watch every game of the finals, but yeah.
Yeah, the Nets Bucks game was awesome. It was Game 7. KD. It was 107-109 Bucks, and KD makes what looked like a three-pointer, but his giant size 23 shoes were too big, and they were all on the 2-point line or on the 3-point line, and it counted as a 2, which just sent him to overtime, which would have won them the game otherwise. And then he gets another shot to win the game, or at least tie the game on a 3-pointer, and he airballs it in overtime. And I don't blame him. KD balled
he played, didn't he? There was one game where he played every minute.
Game 5 and 7. He might have done it in Game 6 too. So I don't blame him for like airballing. I don't
blame him.
That's crazy. He played like 53 minutes that game.
If they have to rely on him scoring, like,
and it's like
you can't.
It's like a quarter of James Harden is what you're getting there, maybe like half because he was injured too, and Kyrie's not there. So like it's like Blake Griffin and Joe Harris are the next two best players after that, and it's like, oh. So props to KD. Like, I really didn't like him that much before, but like I really like him. Like, I mean, I still wanted the Bucks to win, but I really gained a lot of appreciation for like how good he was just watching 2.5 games in the series.
It gave him brownie points for me because like I also don't really like him that much. Like he's an average like likable player in my mind.
Yeah.
You either like I don't think it's you either like him or hate him. I think it's just kind of for me, I'm indifferent.
He just kind of like gets washed out by LeBron. No offense to him, and it's like LeBron's, but like he literally looked like the best player in the world in this series. Like I was blown away, and like when he shot that shot to send it into overtime, I was like, there's no way it's not going in. And then he sunk it, and I was like, obviously. And then like the last shot, there was just really good defense, and I think he was tired and like, but he was just so good this series. And
I mean, honestly, I think the Bucks deserve to win it though. Just from a logistics standpoint, the way the Bucks and the Nets play, like the Nets don't deserve to go another game after that.
Yeah,
because like
just the injuries. If they had everyone together, they would have blown the Bucks out of that game.
They only have offense. It was like their lowest scoring games, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
if you watch game one of that series, it was like 100, like it was like a 30-point win by the Nets, and it was like, is this what it's gonna be? Because I like the Bucks.
And then it wasn't.
Yeah, because James Harden had to sit out. Well, James Harden sat out the entire series, I think, till the end. But Kyrie was there, and it was fine, you know. And Kyrie's better than people give him credit for because he's
Kyrie's good.
Lunatic, but that's okay. Let's see. The Clippers. So I watched a little bit of the Suns. Who did they play? Don't tell me. They played the Lakers, and then they played the. Who'd they play in the last series? Nuggets. The Nuggets. They played the Nuggets, and that was a sweep. And I watched a little bit of the last game, and not much of that. But I'm a Suns fan because I like Devin Booker, and Matthew and I played them all the time in 2K8.
That's why I'm a Suns fan. I'm rooting for him to win.
Because we used to play Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire.
The team that gave him hope.
Yeah, exactly.
For a year.
I'm a big fan of the Suns. I hope it's Suns Bucks. That's what I was hoping for the entire time.
That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, no one else in the West I really care about. The entire time I was like, I don't want anybody else. Maybe the Nuggets, but that was it.
It's Suns Clippers and then
Bucks Hawks.
And I don't want the
East,
Hawks Clippers. I honestly, that's the time I won't watch.
I won't watch it if it's Hawks Clippers. Here, that NBA. If you want two people, two different households. We're in two different households. So watch the finals. Then put at least the Bucks in, or at least
the Suns.
Okay, I'd rather have the Suns in.
I'd rather watch the Suns play the Clippers and destroy them in 4 games.
You mean the Suns play the Hawks?
Or Suns play the Hawks, and destroy them in 4 games. And honestly, the Hawks do have a good story. Like, they weren't very good this year, and then they are good now. So it's like, okay, they're actually making a run for it.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool.
It's cool,
new
but
coach, that's not Monty Williams. That's the Suns coach. I can't remember his name.
I don't know much about basketball, but that's what I know. And the Bucks, in my opinion, I'd rather see the Bucks play in the finals.
What's really cool about this finals that I love, because the NBA for years when I was like in high school and like early college watching it, and I guess all throughout college, there was no parity. It was LeBron's team and the Warriors for 5 straight years, and I was like, this sucks. And
I stopped watching.
I did too. I was like, I'm not watching these stupid finals anymore. I can't stand watching I mean, like, they were good, talented teams.
In like 2008, I used to watch them because it was fun, and then it stopped being fun.
It'd be LeBron's team, whether it was the Heat or it was the Cavs or now the Lakers. Every single year it was just LeBron, and then it was like,
it was always the East too.
Yeah, it was annoying. So like I got tired of it, but like the parity, like the Bucks, the Clippers, the Suns, and the Hawks, no team has won a final since like 1971, which is awesome. I really want it gives me as a Wizards fan hope to be like, maybe we can do it.
We made the playoffs this year. It honestly
I don't think we won since '73 as the Bullets. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. It honestly pissed me off that we made the playoffs because now we get a terrible draft pick But if we can continue, if we can have the same team but better next year, like, there's hope. It is nice to see that even like, I know the Suns are in a terrible drought. A lot of teams are.
That's funny.
So
the Suns are in a drought.
Arizona's always in a terrible.
Kind of the whole thing, about the Suns. So
that's their whole point.
That's the whole thing about the Sun. But so game 2 of the Suns Clippers I watched, and it was awesome while also being the worst basketball experience I've ever had. The last 90 seconds, and this was actually a stat, the last 90 seconds of in-game time took 33 minutes of real time.
I wouldn't want to watch that.
I was sitting there in bed, like, it was like midnight, and I was like, I just want to sleep, man. Like, I don't care anymore. But it was such a good game that I couldn't help but watch it. And because they reviewed everything. There were 5 reviews, only 4 like baskets. And I was like, oh my gosh. And like,
they gotta make sure.
So playoff P, Paul George missed 2 clutch free throws to, I think, put his team up or to give him a more solid lead. And then, because they were up by 1, the Clippers. They came back, they got up by 1. Playoff P misses 2 free throws, which was awesome. And because I don't like the Clippers really. And
I don't like the Clippers.
Paul George is annoying. He's way too into himself, calling himself Playoff P. Who does he think he is? And then let's see. There's like 0.9 seconds left. Somehow the Suns get the ball out of bounds, like lob from like the baseline.
Yeah.
And Jay Crowder like throws a. Did you see this highlight? Oh, dude, it was
Nope.
perfect. I gotta show you after this. Jay Crowder gives a perfect alley oop up, and there's like 0.9 seconds left, so no one's gonna be able to really catch and shoot.
Yeah.
So they lob it up, and DeAndre Ayton like goes up, and he like pretty much just like dunks it in.
Yeah,
but it's like if
smacks
he would have touched it, it would have gone in by itself. That's how good the pass
yeah.
was. So he basically just comes up and like shots it down, which all the Clippers are like, that's goaltending, but you can't goaltend on an inbounds pass is the thing. So
I mean,
it was.
they had it.
It was such a
That's
good
nice.
game. I was like freaking out watching it. Like it was beautiful. I really want the Suns to win. I'm glad they're up 2-0.
Yeah.
And I just the NBA players, I'm having a lot of fun with them. We watched it while we were on vacation, and the ladies were not happy with us. Like we were just all sitting there, like half was rooting for the Nets, half the Bucks.
Yeah.
And like they were not thrilled with us watching basketball, but I was like, this is awesome. Like Game 7, like watching Katie and all that. It was a good time.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of the previous rounds, just to talk about it pretty
Okay.
quick. What about the 76ers?
oh, you dude, that collapse.
One of the worst playoff flops
I almost
think
forgot
in
about that.
history. Like, there's no other way to describe it than one of the worst flops in history.
They had a 24-point lead in game 4 or 5. I think it was 5. Where they're up like 24 with 2 minutes left in the third. That's insane.
Their win percentage was literally like the 99.9%. And you can see the graph. The graph is so funny when people post it. It's like, oh, yep, they have almost 100% chance to win it. And then like fourth quarter comes and they just lose it all. It's just a straight line to the Hawks and they win.
I hear this a lot where people complain about win percentage. They're like, oh, win percentage is like, oh, it's a stupid stat. It's like there's still a chance they lose. That's the thing about percentages. It's saying that they were so likely to win. This is a catastrophic
There was no
loss.
way they were going to lose that. Everyone,
like, well, playoff percentage was wrong. It's like, no, they were right that if you have a 26%, if you have a 26-point lead at the end of the third quarter, you should probably win that game. You have a really, really good chance of winning that. And 0.1% of the time, someone's going to come back and win that, which
and it happened
they did
twice in Game 7 too. It happened again in Game 7.
They had a good
blew
lead.
They had a decent lead.
Ben Simmons, oh man, dude.
That's tough.
He's
gone.
I don't think he's left-handed. Have you heard about this?
No.
He shoots left-handed, and if you watch him, like he doesn't shoot left-handed. Like he shouldn't shoot left-handed. Like he finishes dunks right-handed. He literally writes right-handed, and he shoots with his left hand because his dad like apparently wanted to train him to like be ambidextrous and not be scared to use both hands. But like
that's a Ben Simmons thing.
It's if he starts shooting with his right hand, I honestly think he shot in that series 32% from the free throw line.
I don't think it's just his right hand though. But continue.
I can't believe 32% in a series from foul. Like
it's god awful.
You literally could just like if you have like I would put in bench players and just foul him every possession because like he's gonna get.
The Wizards tried doing that,
and it was smart. We won
Game 5. We tried to find. Game 5 we also did it.
Did we? Yeah. Well, Game 4 we won because Game 4 we won because we did that because he's such a bad free throw shooter. Because I think he's shooting wrong-handed.
We didn't care if we went in the bonus because we were just grabbing him and he wasn't making shots.
Throw Howell Neto out there.
We don't give him possessions. We give him a chance to score 1 point basically because he's not going to make them.
It was incredible.
It's so bad. Well, the Game 5, the only reason it worked is because Ben Simmons did hit his free throws. He had like 6 or 5 for 6 or something like that.
It's just insane to me that.
And then he missed all the other ones the rest of the game. So
he's so good at everything else. Like he passes well. He plays defense insane. He's the best defense player in the league, and he's just like I watched.
He's a mess on offense.
It's so upsetting, you know. He's like, you have so much potential. If he could just shoot, even average, he'd be one of the better players in the league. But he can't do that.
Like the 76ers were so close to having a well-built team if he was just good.
Yeah.
And people were like, yeah, Ben Simmons is a part of the process, but like,
he
can't be anymore. He can't be.
So
he's not good.
What's the guy who's on the
Tobias
Orlando
Harris?
Magic? No,
he's
Dwight Howard. No, he's on the Magic now. They drafted him number 1. Markelle Fultz, I think is his name. He was number 1 overall pick by them, and he was
I heard
really bad there, and he went to the Magic, and he's fine now. But like he was part of the process too. They're just maybe they're not good at the process.
They don't know they branded it as trusting the process, but the process was never there. They had no clue.
And then Philly fans will cry and they'll be like, "Oh, we're such a bad this sucks," and it's like, yeah, it does suck, but like you also just won a Super Bowl 3 years ago.
Yeah, they're basically done though. Is the thing.
Yeah,
that was literally the nail in the coffin. I've been listening to Barstool Sports, like watching Good Bet on videos, and they talked about it a lot. And the 76ers fans at the office there, they were talking about it, and it's just like it seems hopeless for
The
Philadelphia.
process?
For Philadelphia in general.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was literally their only chance to continue winning. Like,
Yeah, the
and
Phillies
now
are
it's
kind of
over.
garbage. I mean, they have Bryce Harper, but
They
I don't
have
know.
to
I don't
restart.
Yeah, it sucks. But
And the Phillies, I think they lost last year.
Phillies won
or
a World
something.
Series like maybe like 13 years ago. So I mean, like you can only be so upset,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
Like
kind of like the Ravens, you know. I mean, but we're
we're getting
but
we're getting past the glow. Like I mean, like
but
we're
we're good. Like,
also
we've
we're
been
good,
good. We've been decent.
and we play
since
fun
then.
football. We're also fun
Yeah.
to watch. Like even if we lose, it's like, well, I mean, like I've never had more fun watching football than our 2020 season when Lamar's MVP. Or
That's true.
2019, 20.
2019-20.
Lamar's
was
MVP
fun.
season. That was the most fun I've ever had watching football, and probably ever will. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to talk hockey real quick, or any more basketball.
I think I'm good on basketball. I don't know much about the hockey play. I honestly haven't heard anything from the hockey playoffs.
Hockey, basically I don't watch that much hockey, but I finished Game 6. So where we are right now is that the Canadians are up 3-2 on the Golden Knights, which is crazy because they barely made the playoffs. Like that's the one thing about hockey. Like I complain about the NBA and not having any parity. The NHL has too much parity in the sense that it's like
That's fair.
the worst team. Literally, they were the worst.
Anybody
They
can
were
make
the
it.
18th best team in the
In the playoffs.
not in the
Or in the-
entire league. I can't think of the word.
yeah.
Like they weren't even the top 16 teams made it. They shouldn't have made the playoffs if it was just top 16. But because they were in a terrible division, they were able to make it. And it's just, it kind of sucks when you're like the Avalanche. Obviously, the way they played the Golden Knights, that sucked.
Yeah.
But like it just feels like
I mean, if they win, they deserve it. But it does suck. It's like I don't want to see the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
you don't.
No.
You want to see the Canadians?
I'd rather see the Canadians.
They just have
yeah.
boring hockey. The
Canadians are boring.
Knights are
yeah,
at least
but,
fun,
like,
you know.
Yeah, but it's like
Like if it's Islanders, Canadians, like it's old school, but it also sucks. Like they're just.
I'd like Islanders, either of the teams, honestly.
It'd be more fun and better for hockey if the Lightning and the Golden Knights make it, because they're just more fun,
That seems like that seems like repeating history. That's literally the past 3 years.
which is good. I think it's good. Okay, so I think it's good for hockey to where it's like if you have a good team, you should be able to have success. Like in the NBA,
Yeah.
the better team wins 80% of the time, right? In hockey, it's probably about 55-60% of the time the better team's going to win. So in a 7-game series, it's going to be unfortunate.
But it just seems more fair. You know, like the circumstances seem fair enough that if you win a game, you know, you should get the credit for winning the game, kind of thing.
Yeah, but
So it's
also
like-
I just think it's hockey. I love hockey. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I just think sometimes it's a little too rough to be like, hey, like my team's been good for the past 10 years. Like the
Hockey playoffs are tough when
Which
your
is
team
probably
is
why
good and you lose.
it's
Which is
the Capitals. We went
exactly
through it
what
for
happened.
10 years. Like
Yep.
they started to become really
still
good in
happened.
like 06, 07, and then for 10 years they would just get bounced in the
They
playoffs.
make it to the playoffs and get bounced first round. We've only won one Stanley Cup. We've made it past the first round like twice.
and it's just
not-
like
it's
what's
not fun to
happening?
watch.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. It's
But
just,
we're always a good team. It's like, yeah, it
we've
is
been a
fun.
good
I
team for the
understand
past
that.
like 15 years, and it's just
We're undoubtedly a good team, and we're
Mhm.
great in the regular season almost always. So
yeah.
it's
like we won the President's Cup, which is the best record in hockey for those that don't know, in 2010, and we got swept by the very bad Canadiens in
Yeah.
4 games because they had a hot goalie, and we just didn't come to play. And it's like, what is happening? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what hockey is. It just sucks for fans because it's like, why do I root for this team that's supposed to be really good and they're great, and it feels like the regular season doesn't matter. It's like, why do I watch the regular
yeah.
season? It's like
I mean, I don't personally.
That's fair.
I do. I just watch the playoffs when
when it's
we're
Canadian.
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So honestly, I didn't watch much hockey this year.
Yeah, because we got out pretty early.
And
so.
I wanted to watch more hockey, but I was just like,
Once the Avalanche got out, I was kind of like, okay, well, there goes both my teams,
Yeah.
kind of. So, anyway, but so,
I'm rooting for the Islanders just because, you know, whatever.
I think honestly it doesn't really matter too much anymore. I wanted the Islanders to win last night. They won on an overtime goal, which was pretty sick.
Mm.
It might be their last game in their arena, Nassau Coliseum, because it's getting demolished. So it was pretty cool to see
Where
that.
are they moving?
Someplace closer to the city, I
The
believe.
the Rangers have the Garden, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're moving to the Garden. I think it might be with the Nets facility, wherever
Mm.
that is. Anyway, the hockey playoffs are fun. I'll probably watch the final, but I haven't been as much into them as the NBA finals. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll watch the hockey finals unless something interesting
If
happens.
it's Canadians Islanders, it's gonna
If it's
suck.
if it's
being honest.
Islanders, anybody, I'd probably watch it. But if it's Lightning, anybody, I'm probably not.
How do you feel
watching
about Barry Trotz, the old Capitals
I
coach?
could care less if he wins or not.
Okay. You don't lean anyway to it.
No, I don't really mind if he wins.
It kind of feels like a Capitals like win a little bit if he wins it, but it's also like, damn, we could have definitely won.
It feels like a Capitals loss for me if
Does
he
it?
did. Yeah, because
Mm.
like
Interesting.
we gave him away and he was still good. So why?
Yeah.
But like we didn't end up doing great this year
Yeah,
in terms of
that's
playoff
fair.
play. So it's like, it's good to see him doing well, but
Mm.
there's always a bit of saltiness to it. It's like if we
Yeah.
got rid of John Harbaugh and he won a Super Bowl, like
That would be annoying.
I'd be pissed. I'd be
Mhm.
like, okay,
Yeah.
why the hell? Because I care about the Ravens more.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Well, anyway, a lot
Yeah.
of good sports on right now is basically the moral of that. And, I've just really been enjoying it because it feels like we didn't really get it
We
last
didn't
year with
get
the
this,
bubble,
yeah.
It was kind of trash. So, anyway, sports are fun. Love
Bubble
it.
was interesting.
Bubble
yeah.
was interesting, but yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for the episode. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brothers Whim. You can subscribe and listen to us and like the videos, do all that great stuff
Oh yeah.
on YouTube.
Don't forget to like them.
Yeah, please. The Brothers Win podcast.
Smash that like
Yeah, hit the bell. Subscribe. All that good stuff. Not at anything. Just the Brothers Win podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find us. And tell your friends. Do whatever you want to. We just appreciate you listening. Thank you for.
Practice your networking skills.
Yeah, exactly. Just with us.
Yeah,
maybe
just with our podcast.
maybe we'll pay you 10% chance. We'll
Yeah,
first,
maybe you can have a stake in the company.
But anyway, thank you for listening. We appreciate it as always. I've been Ian,
I've been Matt.
and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.